So what do you say to people that want to play in their first tournament, their first club championship, their first USGA qualifier, but they're worried about playing bad, and then what their parents, their friend, their teammates or whatever? What would you say to them to help them get over that fear?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I do have an answer for that, but it's it varies individually. So when you're playing in a tournament, your butt is hanging out there for everybody to look at, and that's I mentioned that in my book, is that you're playing with your buddies, whatever, you can play terribly and be disappointed, lose a little bit of money, drink a couple beers, who cares? But as soon as you start, playing in a tournament, your score is out there, and everybody can see it, and so it is disappointing. It is difficult. But so you talked about the spotlight effect. Here's the most important thing to remember when you're playing a tournament and you totally dog it and play terrible, and so you don't want to play in a tournament again because you're embarrassed. Nobody really cares as much as you think they do, which is a spotlight effect. You think that everybody's looking at you when you've got a ketchup stain, on your pants and you're walking across the restaurant, but nobody really sees it. And the ones that see it could care less. They don't care. So your really good friends are going to support you and say, man, I'm really glad you got out there. Your loved ones are going to say, you know what? You fought the good fight. I don't care what you shot. Everybody else, if you're worried about them giving you a bad time, they don't really care. The ones that care are going to support you, and everybody else just really doesn't care that much. And so that spotlight effect gets a lot of us thinking that that everybody in the world sees me, and everybody, people are doing their own thing. People are, and golf's an individual game anyway. So the people that really do care about you, they're going to support you, and everybody else doesn't really care that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I always just tell people too, I'm like, the people that judge you are usually the ones that don't have the courage to even enter into the tournament. So it's like the guy that's 300 pounds and he's telling Tom Brady how to play football. It's like you're not there, right?
And those guys are. I would tell everybody, those guys are a dime a dozen.
Yeah,
they're not important enough for you to even worry about.
Mm-hmm.
They're a dime a dozen. So forget them. Keep your friends close and your loved ones close. They care about you. And I'm glad to see you doing it. Everybody else they're not important.
Yeah, I had a guest kind of talk about imagine yourself being 80 years old. Do you think that when you were 35 and you played in that tournament and you shot 90 and you're a scratch golfer, that anybody's going to care? No.
I used to tell myself all the time,
make these big deals out of nothing.
Right. I don't know if this is helpful or not, but I used to tell myself, well, 100 years from now, nobody's even going to know
100%.
I play golf. So why am I worried about it? Mm-hmm. But these are all difficult things that you've got to find a way to build them up and deal with them.
But that's why I like talking with you, because you've done it at all levels. You're not just someone that's like read a bunch of books and went to school for a lot of years. You've done it. You've failed and you've succeeded at the highest levels. And that's why I loved your book. That's why I love, sharing my own failures openly on this podcast. I mean, I had my worst tournament round last year, and then the next week I won. I mean, what a dumb game we're playing, right? Like there's so much unpredictability, but it's okay.